Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
Ho, ho, ho! And Merry Christmas on this December the 25th. I hope everybody's been a good girl and boy. And welcome to the December the 25th Weather Xtreme video. Let's take a look at the Skycam images. Straight from Gadsden, we can see that it's a rather cloudy morning as the lights are shining brightly and reflecting off the clouds. We get a similar shot from downtown Birmingham looking out over Red Mountain. On our surface map this morning, we're seeing a lot of moisture coming out of Texas and coming across the from the Pacific, and that moisture will be wrung out in the form of rain today, and then again probably primarily on Tuesday, with a little break in the action on Monday, thanks to a surface low in the northwest Gulf of Mexico. On the upper air chart, of course, we're still tapping into a good deal of that moisture that you can see from the water vapor imagery, and as that closed low begins to come out from the southwestern United States, that's going to help to generate our rain. It is relatively mild across the southeastern U.S., and that's about the only place in the country that it's very mild. As you can see, the temperatures, especially below that red line, that is the 32-degree line, so it is still fairly chilly, although the eastern part of the country is certainly not bad for this time of year. And as the temperatures show, we didn't change a lot overnight. I think I was forecasting around a 42 low, and I'm not sure we got that low in most spots. The clouds came in and held things off. And, of course, rain has spread over the area. I know at my house in Helena that I've had a tenth of an inch, and that should end up being around a third of an inch before this rain event is over. Now, total rain for this whole rain event could be 1 to 2 inches, and this rain event, remember, is going to be the rain today as well as the rain that comes on Monday night and into Tuesday, and should be out of here by Wednesday. Storm Prediction Center not outlooking any organized severe thunderstorms for today, although we could see some thunder over primarily over the eastern part of Texas and a good portion of Louisiana. We see that we may actually see thunder over a wider area on day 2. However, the greatest threat for potential severe weather is going to remain along the Gulf Coast if the atmosphere can destabilize enough, and that's still somewhat questionable, but we'll certainly be watching that as the conditions evolve. And in case you hadn't seen it, it was rather mild over the southeastern U.S. These are actually the high temperatures for yesterday. A little chilly in the Rockies and down across Texas and New Mexico, where they did have some snow yesterday that caused some travel problems. But otherwise, certainly not bad over the continental United States. The 06Z GFS model run shows the rain that we're experiencing this morning that should be coming across and staying with us for much of the day. I think perhaps we will see the rain taper off by afternoon, which will be nice, give everybody a chance to get outside. The 500 millibar chart looks a little wonky here, but the bottom line is the trough is coming out on Monday. And so what that means is I think we're going to have a little break in the action. That is, Monday should be cloudy. Yes, we're probably not going to see much in the way of sun, but it does look like we will see a break in the rain after it tapers off later this afternoon. And that then the rain returns probably late in the day on Monday and into the evening. The closed low comes out as an open trough, and you can see it passing actually through Alabama on Tuesday about 18Z or noontime, and that puts the surface low over the eastern half of Tennessee and northern Georgia approximately, with a good rain shield out there. And the European is in pretty good agreement. And the European was doing this yesterday a little bit faster, not a lot, but a little bit faster. But you can see that certainly means that we should have some rain going on even to the latter part of Tuesday. So definitely some rain action for us to deal with through the next at least through Tuesday, let's say. The big short wave moves off the New England coast on Wednesday, and that returns us to a bit of a ridge.
but we should be dry. And even though we have a nice trough coming across the central part of the United States, I think that's going to be dry. We probably will see some clouds. We can see that trough makes it over to the southeast coast while another one drops in, so the pattern is certainly very, very active. That one moves off to New England pretty quickly, so once again, with the nearly zonal flow we have across the southeastern U.S., we stay dry into Friday. Now, the GFS is suggesting a very low probability, and I'm just not throwing that in just yet. I think I'll hold off on that and try to stick with a dry forecast. And we see that the troughiness even into Saturday, the last day of 2011, is still there, but I think we should stay dry across our area. And you can certainly see that with that troughiness across the northern tier of the U.S. that we're dropping the thicknesses a little bit, so a little cooler air up that direction. The trough does intensify, deepen just a bit on the first day of January, and of course that would bring a little bit cooler air a little further south, but still not too bad for us. I don't think we'll probably be close to typical for this time of year. And then finally, a week from tomorrow, so we're edging out into voodoo country here, you can see that trough moves off into the Atlantic, and we see another trough coming into the western Great Lakes, a real series of these events coming by. But we're under a gentle northwesterly flow, I'll say, so certainly an absence of any extremes. Now let's take a look out into voodoo country, and we get out to the 5th, and we're still under relative zonal flow, but we change just a little bit by the 6th as that trough deepens considerably. And what that means is the potential, and this is interesting that the potential is still there. A model run or a model run 24 hours later is certainly there for what appears to be a fairly significant winter weather event for the eastern part of the country as well as the southeastern U.S. Now, I'm not hanging my hat on this just yet. It has changed character, but it certainly is indicating the possibility of something. And then finally, we get out to the very end of the current forecast period around the 9th of January. And what do we see? Yep, we're back to the troughiness in the west and the southwesterly flow keeping the southeastern U.S. mild.
And that'll do it for this Weather Extreme video for this Merry Christmas of 2011. Ho, 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 ho!
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.